I remember, I can't remember the name of the school. Names are hard to pronounce, but I remember the real tall one, and we went to the top of the roof, and then you could look over the whole Mathari Valley.
Yes.
And I remember you could see the MOHI schools. You could point them out.
Yes.
And they were literally these 8-9-story buildings, and people could see them above their shanties sticking out.
Like little beacons of hope.
I mean, seriously. And they all had the same color, and so you knew what it was.
Yeah.
There was the day we went to the more like the trade school that they had. I don't remember exactly what they called it, but
In TTI.
I think so. Yes. They were most things that they were training people in were trades. You know, there was like cosmetology. There was, I think, electric work. There was plumbing, mechanical, automotive. Yeah, and then they were training them in social work.
Yeah.
And basically what they figured out was we basically have higher standards than anybody else does. So if we want good social workers, we're going to train them ourselves.
Yeah.
Because that was the one thing that really wasn't a trade.
Yeah. The best social workers come from people or students who lived it.
So why don't we just then train them? You know, then they'll know what we need.
Yeah.
I remember one day visiting one of the health clinics, and in this particular day, they were focusing on developmental disabilities. And there's folks in there with kids dealing with autism. I don't remember what all it was. And one of the things we were told is that, and this was in Kenya, that in that society, a developmentally disabled child is, they consider it a sign of a curse.
Mm-hmm.
And again, bringing Jesus to these people, it's trying to teach them, no, this is also a child of God. You are loved. Your child is loved. And just, again, another way that they're bringing hope, that's not education, that's not economic empowerment. It's just love.
And I remember hearing from one of the moms and how thankful she was for MOHI in providing some of these ways to love and serve and teach her daughter, who she named her daughter Miracle.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Special needs.
Yes.
Daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was basically saying how thankful she was, and because she's not a curse, she is truly a miracle.
Right.
I thought that was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they have the standard health clinics as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That not only serve the kids, but serve the community also.
Right. Yeah. Not even just the parents of those kids. Like, it becomes a community center.
Yeah.
I remember there was a walk-up. At one point, we saw a health center. It literally was kind of a walk-up, and they had a whole sign of saying, "Here's what we can treat." And
Yeah.
yeah,
And even like there was a dentist as well.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I remember once we got to Ethiopia, wondering what kind of difference can that make here.
because the disease was even more so in Ethiopia.
And I think I even remember asking, is that because of MOHI? And they're like, no, it's just really a worse problem here anyway.
Yeah.
It is in this society for that reason.
But he's doing a lot for education.
Sure.
As far as disease as well.
Right.
Because they showed a movie. They showed, so they were trying to educate people about HIV and AIDS. And they had a free event and no one came, but then they decided to show a movie to try to draw people in.
Yes.
And they showed Mr. Beans.
That's right.
They showed Mr. Beans, and I guess they educated. So they passed out free cards to get checked or something. And 2,000 people, I think it was like 2,000 people came.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Just inviting them for that, they wouldn't do it. But
So they got to see a movie.
Show them a stupid movie.
Yeah.
Stupid funny. I love that.
Yeah.
No, it just really amazes me the way that they just seem to lift up the communities they're in. It didn't make them prosperous communities, but it made them places where people have hope. I'd love to see what that looks like a generation from now.
Yeah. Well, and there's already stories, right? I mean, MOHI's been at it for 25 years. There's already stories of kids growing up in the slums, and they're going on to graduate school,
Yeah.
college, graduate school,
Yeah.
and on, or kids even coming back and working
Right.
administratively for MOHI and helping them
Yeah.
Well, and
all sorts of different ways.
And stories of, I recall, the kids that have been through MOHI are on their like postgraduate tests are testing higher, not just in the public schools, but like the elite private schools.
Yeah.
Keeping up or even are ahead of them.
Right.
Kids that are living in the slums
Right.
testing higher
The rich kids
than
Yes.
rich kids.
that are getting,
Yeah.
privileged education.
And MOHI's all about teaching, not giving someone a fish, but teaching a man to fish.
Yes.
So, like when you sponsor a child, yes, you're paying for part of their education, but the parent has to pay part of the education as
Yes.
well, or they can't go to school.
Right.
There's buy-in,
Right.
or when they get a micro loan, microfinance loan, they're in that sort of cohort. Like they have to get a loan with 4 to 6 other people.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're all accountable for each other's loans. So if one of them faults, the other have to pay back. I mean, there's that accountability across the spectrum.
It's community.
Yeah.
I know God changed my heart. And I've been blessed to travel a little bit in my life, but yeah, this one wrecked me a little bit.
How would you compare it? So you've been to some rough areas before.
What MOHI did was on a level that I have never seen any missions partner do before. I've never seen any missions partner doing what MOHI does. And that's not to discredit any other partner, but they have it figured out where they are coming alongside families and educating kids, empowering adults with microloans, providing healthcare and clinics, and then coming alongside with the gospel, and it is totally changing the dynamic of the poorest of the poor in the world.
Yeah. Their system is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, even beyond some of those things, they've got their own. They needed water for all their schools.
Yeah.
So they started a water bottling plant.
Right.
And it's not just supplying water for the schools, it's also making money and selling water to other, it's a self-sufficient, profitable or entity within its own organization. And then all the kids have uniforms.
Yeah.
And they make them.
Yeah, and they make them.
Yeah.
And they outsource work as well.
Yeah.
Not outsource, I'm sorry. They
They're at the other end of that, whatever that's called.
they do work for other people as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there were so many other little businesses like that. Not little, I don't know how little they are. Businesses within the organization that. Because it's someone that was, going to the trade schools for plumbing. Could then maybe work at the water bottling facility.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love that.
I know they have a coffee plantation. I brought home a bag of coffee. So,
Yeah. Because we contrasted, right? We spent the first few days in Kenya, seeing what MOHI has done, and then we spent the last few days in Ethiopia, talking with some officials, dreaming about what could be, and now here we are. MOHI is literally getting ready to launch a school in Ethiopia. They've already identified 300 kids from the Korah community, that dump that we went to. They're saying these are 300 kids that we're going to start with. I don't know if I can say it without tearing up.
it's humbling how far it's come in such a short time. I remember them saying, yeah, we're planning to start this September, and I thought, you're crazy. Can't get that done that fast. And even getting there and realizing, well, first of all, like, I had no idea when we went we were going to be meeting with government officials. So that kind of freaked me out. Me, really?
I thought that too.
Yeah, they said just
Know about you.
don't talk. Yeah, just don't talk. The fact that there's a group there supporting you is what matters.
Smile and wave.
Yes, exactly. Don't say anything.
Which that made me feel like a doofus. I'm like, if you really knew who I was,
Yeah.
like I'm adding zero value here.
Yeah, I agree. About me, don't you?
Sure.
But they're going to be able to do it because they see their support. They see like this is a system that has worked. You know, it's worked 35 times. I don't think there's like 35 schools throughout Kenya.
Yeah.
It works there. It's worked the one time they've done it in Liberia. And so, like, yeah, let's find a way to get you here.
Yeah, think about that. Like, so they've only been in existence since the year 2000, 25 years. And they have 35 plus schools, with new schools starting up in Kenya. You know, seems like every few months.
Right.
They're getting ready to go into Ethiopia. And each school has what? Depending on the spacing, somewhere from 600 to 1,600 kids.
Yeah. Right.
And so you do the math a little bit. Your 35 schools plus your somewhere 35,000 kids that are from the poorest of the poor communities, and then the 35 plus churches. Every school,
Right.
They seek to launch churches.
Yeah.
Church, yeah.
And I remember going in and so the kids are singing, but they're singing songs about Jesus. They're quoting verses to you. And I started thinking about, wow, that could be Ethiopia.
Yeah.
That's our same experience. That could be the story totally changes. And it'd be interesting to go back a year from now, 2 years from now, and see like what some of the families even maybe that we met. Maybe they're the kids that are one of the 300 that are starting out with. What how would the conversation change?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of hope.
And the fact that our church is partnering with a specific location,
Mm-hmm.
and the way MOHI sets that up with all its church partners, like we get to partner with one location. We can sponsor these kids and develop a relationship, and we can go visit them. You know, I think that's really cool how MOHI does that.
Yes.
I think that's why I'm hoping, and we're still working out the details, but you know, what if our church swung away and sponsored as many of the 300 kids as possible? Whatever that number is, I think it's a number we could be proud of. And then their school starts in September, and then what if by June we were able to go take a trip and meet some of the kids? You know, these are kids that we have obviously this next year we'll be writing and getting to know, and then we go and meet them, and we take them bowling, or do something that they would never imagine being able to do. But we take them bowling, or take them to the park, or do something that would just blow their socks off.
Mm-hmm. And going back to Kenya, and they were sharing with them how many of the kids actually come to faith, which is why we're doing this in the first place, right? To share Jesus with them. They obviously, like you said, meet their needs first, right? Health, food, education, and then evangelism, and then on Gaza is what it's called, when they sent them to the coast of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Resonated with me a lot because these, I don't remember what age they were, but they would go to the coast and have this like 2-week experience where they would see the ocean for the first time. They would be with their fellow students. They would sleep in a bed by themselves for 2 weeks straight, right? And they said so many kids came to know Christ and accepted it. And that was like a different experience for me, but I had a, summer camp that went to Florida. Right. And I was like, man, it was such a impactful part for my faith journey in high school. I love that they're even doing things like that for their kids.
Sure.
And MOHI too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, truly amazing. And honestly, like I laughed about it because the summer camp I remember going to is in West Lebanon, Indiana.
Yeah.
And wonderful. I mean, it was a wonderful place. Don't get me wrong, but I thought these kids are getting baptized in the Indian Ocean. What must that be like for a kid that never thought he'd see outside of Nairobi?
Or even his little community.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who is thinking, they're hearing this information and they're thinking about sponsorship or going, you guys, I invited you guys to go on this trip and what would you say to that person who's kind of maybe on the line, on the fence?
If you're worried about money, don't. If you're worried about money, sponsor too. Because it'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say yes when God calls.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And just be open to your heart changing, getting bigger, however you want to look at it. I mean, I feel like I went into this with my eyes open, ready for a change, but you don't know what that's going to look like. And I just feel so blown away, so much more of a citizen of the world, and, made a total of 2 international trips in my life now, but the world's bigger and smaller now to me. And I don't know. I think anytime, if you feel like God is offering you a chance to be a part of something bigger like this, then you need to do it.